Good afternoon, everybody. I am Lisa Wayman with Corner Escrow, and today I have my great friend Dave Medina with Fairway Mortgage with me today. Hi, Dave.
Hi, how are you? Super
I
stoked to be
am
here.
good. Yes, thank you so much for coming on. So I reached
Of course.
out to Dave a couple of days ago because I thought it would be a great video to share with our real estate community about how low our interest rates are. I'm sure everybody knows what great interest rates we have right now, but
Yeah.
also an interesting aspect as far as inventory in our market. So right now, I know that I've had clients reach out to me saying, "Oh my gosh, my listing sold in 5 hours and I had 10 offers on it." So obviously we
Mhm.
know that inventory is low. We know our interest rates are low, which is sort of a catch 22 because people want to buy, but there might not be inventory. So I just wanted to get a little bit of a better perspective from your point of view on what you're seeing with your clients and
Yeah.
all of that jazz.
Yeah, definitely. And first of all, again, Lisa, I really appreciate this initiative of you going out to the field and getting such good quality information out there, and really excited to be a part of that good information. I always tune in to all of your podcasts and your videos because they're always just chock full of really great info. So first and
Thank
foremost,
you.
thank you for having me on to
Of
talk to your
course.
audience today.
Yeah.
But you hit the needle right on the head. I mean, interest rates are super, super low. It's interesting because, when you look back at 2008 and, when we went through a pretty significant housing crisis, as everyone's,
Yeah.
pretty much aware of,
Hmm.
at that point in 2008, the Fed lowered the overnight lending rate down to almost zero. And they kept it down for almost 7 years before they started ticking those rates up. And over that 7 year time frame, interest rates went from about the mid fives to the high threes. So definitely, although the Fed rate is not directly relatable to long-term interest rates, it certainly does follow a trend and it has a
Yeah.
reaction. And as we saw during that time when the Fed lowered the rates so low, interest rates improved substantially. So I think we're in that same environment now. You may remember just here in March, the Fed again lowered interest rates to almost zero. And
Mhm.
now we had a little bit better starting point when they did
Yeah.
that with interest rates as well. And
Sure.
recently, the Fed chief just said that there's no plans to increase that federal interest rate for at least the next couple years. So I think it's fair to say that the prognosis for interest rates now and moving forward for the foreseeable future is going to be good. I don't
Yeah.
think that's one of the major hurdles that borrowers are facing. In fact, I think it's really providing a path to home ownership that, just even in recent times, they didn't have.
For
Certainly
sure.
the inventory issue, however, is a different ballgame altogether.
Yeah, that's crazy. So I was on a call right before this, and the
Hmm.
broker that I was chatting with was giving scenarios. He had a client who was like, "No, I don't want to buy right now. I want to save 10%." And, he was like, "For what? Like, how long will it take you to save 10%?" And the client
Yeah.
said, 5 years. And he said, "Well, by that time, the interest rate can go up." But as far
Hmm.
as interest rates and trying to buy, would you say that it's a great time for people to try and get pre-qualified to try and at least go out there and try and have some sort of initiative to buy? I mean, I know it's difficult because our inventory is so low, but a lot of people
Yeah.
get really like, "No, inventory is low. I don't even want to go into it." But I think it's
Sure.
worth it, in my opinion, right? I
Yeah.
mean, what would you
You,
say?
I mean, look, at least I get asked that question a lot of times.
Yeah,
I
I'm
really
sure.
try to go deep from sort of that education and empowerment standpoint with
Yeah,
customers. And, it's not long before you get that question of, Dave, is this the right time to buy? And,
always.
my answer to that is always the same. The decision on whether to purchase a home is so unique to an individual and to a family.
Yes.
Short-term goals are different between, one family versus another. Long-term goals are different. Savings goals are different. Budget goals are different. But
Hmm.
everything is very, very custom built. But here's what I would
Yeah.
say. Uh, there's a lot of people that are struggling with this inventory crisis, right? And I think
Hmm.
our natural inclination is to just say, okay, well, I'm going to back up and wait it out,
Right,
right?
right.
And I get it, right? And we're sort of naturally attracted to taking the easy way out. And that's kind of the easy thing to do when people are like boxing it out there, fighting for the, for the few homes that are out there on the market. But let me give you some perspective, right? So if you're looking at a 30-year fixed interest rate today of somewhere in the like 2.875 range, right? Just incredible interest rate. On a $450,000 house, you're looking at a total payment of around $1,860. That's just for the principal and interest portion, okay?
Sure.
Now, if that interest rate were to go up just 1 point only to 3.875, and you know what? In January of 2020, we would have all looked at 3.875 and said, woohoo, what an amazing interest rate we just got, right? But the difference of the monthly payment on that same $450,000 loan is about $250 a month. The more shocking part of that is that translates into about $50,000 of buying power. So let me rephrase that, right? So if you're waiting perceivably for prices to go down on a home and interest rates simultaneously over time go up a point, theoretically, you're going to buy a house that's $50,000 cheaper. If interest rates go up even to 3.875, you're paying the same for that house than you would pay for it today. Right. And alternatively, if prices continue to go up, by waiting, you're sort of robbing yourself of potentially $50,000 of extra buying power to potentially get that extra bedroom, the bigger garage, the swimming pool, the bigger lot, more property, a better investment long term. So here's what I would say, right? Because the inventory situation is something very real, but we're putting people into escrow every single day. And I think there's one key to the success of a buyer today, and it's about being prepared. I know everybody's waiting for Disneyland to open back up, right? My kids definitely are. And, and so I want to use an analogy with that, right? Like, you can go to Disneyland and you can decide to go on the next hot ride or the hottest ride they have out there. And you can wait in line for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours in order to get on board that. Or you can plan ahead and you can walk up to that machine and pull that fast pass, right? And then you can return at a later time. And when you get to that point, your finger's on the trigger and you're ready to jump on board and enjoy the ride. Well, housing is no different. So right now, inventory is moving so quickly that the buyers that are winning and getting their offers accepted are the teams that are working with both real estate agents and lenders that literally have their finger on the trigger. So that when we have to vet this out and show that the borrower is in a strong capability to buy, all that preparation and hard work has already been done already. So we're able to move quick and with authority versus people falling in love with the home and realizing, they need 30, 60, 90 days in order to get ready. So my recommendation would be to just, get prepared, get that fast pass, get to the front of the line. So that way, if an opportunity came your way, you're ready to pull the trigger instead of letting that opportunity go by.
Yes. I knew I wanted you to answer that question for me. That's perfect. I love that because
it's a good question.
It's a good question. It's something we get asked all the time. Even myself, I get asked all the time from friends and family, like, is this the greatest time to buy? Or interest rates going to go lower? I don't know. And what does your financial situation look like? So that's a great answer. So we're encouraging our friends, family to at least meet with their lender, preferably Dave Medina at Fairway Mortgage and his team, and and just get pre-qualified and see what you can do. Because like you said, once you have all that figured out, you may need a little credit repair. You may need a little, credit card payments. You may need to pay off something that you didn't think of, whatever that may be. So it's a great roadmap and it's great to have a team that works with clients like that, right?
You got it. Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dave, for coming on with me. I appreciate you taking a few minutes. I know you and your team are slammed right now, so I really appreciate the time and, the invaluable information. We appreciate you over here at Corner Escrow. So thank you so much, Dave.
I love it. Thanks for having me on, Lisa. I can't wait to see who you have next.
Yes. Thanks, Dave.